So, as you can see based off the title, this video is about learning how to connect to your mind and body at the same time. So I feel like, you know, a lot of us as humans, like, we're kind of all or nothing beings, and we go from one end of the spectrum to another instead of having that balance and meeting in the middle. And today I took a bleach and salt and apple cider vinegar. But if you've seen that video of Bobby Hemmett and the ingredients he used or whatever, I didn't use lemon juice though. I didn't use that because I didn't have it, so I just used whatever I had. But I took that bath today. That was my first time really taking a bleach bath. I normally just take salt and put like herbs in it, like roses or mullein, or other things that's good for like your skin and detoxification, etc. But today I took that type of bath, and that's just me saying, I guess this can potentially be the outcome of me taking that bath. And I now am a lot pairing practicality with spirituality. So it could be the bath, that the things you put in the bath, or it can be the intention. Regardless, this is what transpired afterwards. What came up for me was the fact that I last year went through like what some may call like a psychological death, which I'm not comparing it to a near death experience, but when people have near death experiences, they may, like, a lot of things may change for them. They may even be traumatized by it, or so. And for me, the psychological death that I had, the initiation, the rite of passage that I went through, it caused a slight damage a little bit. I allowed it to. Like, obviously we know the reason behind it wasn't to cause it, but when you go through like psychological deaths and you have extreme anxiety and have panic attacks and etc., because you weren't taking care of your mind, or you needed to go through these things to learn something very important, very specific, you tend to it can cause like you to be overly aware of your mind. So I think that is how I was affected by the psychological death. Like, I became overly aware of my mind, because once I became aware of my subconscious, I seen how much was going on in my mind, and I was like, oh my God, all this shit was going on the whole time. It's like I felt like I was living in a house and didn't know what was going on in any of the rooms. Like, I was so blind. That's how I felt when I awoke into my subconscious and had to do shadow work and whatnot. So, being as though I felt so blind, mind you, I'm a Virgo Mars. So I really do beat myself up a lot about certain things. I pride myself on being extremely self-aware and whatnot. So when that happened, I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I was beating myself up. I had terrible, like, overload of thoughts, terrible sleep patterns. I could barely sleep at times. Like, it was terrible. Like, intrusive thoughts. It was terrible. I forgot about the lack of sleep part, because I sleep like a baby now, but I literally forgot all about that. But, and I'm speaking about it, yeah, it was terrible. Because I was such in a space of taking care of my spiritual and my like body, that I wasn't taking care of my mind. Like, I was vegan. I was making sure I wasn't eating this and that. I was having a balance with my diet, taking all the herbs you can take, going to all the plant medicine ceremonies, etc., etc. But I wasn't here though. I wasn't taking care of my mind. Like, obviously these things can have a positive effect on your mind, but it was something I was ingesting, so it was more so for my body. So, and I was neglecting a lot of my mental, which is why when I went through what I went through, my mental was impacted heavily. I'm not saying my body wasn't, but that was where all the focus was. So this psychological death that I went through, not taking care of my psyche, really, it made me overly conscious of what's going on up here. So it's like, imagine like I have a chair out sitting on the porch 24/7. It's like a watchtower. I'm always in a watchtower in my mind. I'm always paying attention to the thoughts that come up, why they came up, how they came up, what do I need to do about them coming up. Like, I'm very, very overly aware of my mind. And today I realized that over awareness has caused me to neglect my body. And obviously my body, especially as a woman, is a very high grade intelligence. Like, it's a very high level of intelligence. It helps me with a lot of things. So and me neglecting my body has looked like me gaining weight, me eating more to cover up my emotions. Like, don't get me wrong, I take care of my outside. You know what I mean? Like, my skin, my hair. Like, I've been taking care of that stuff a lot more. Because during this process of being like overly mentally aware, consciously aware, I have also been physically aware, like, but I'm speaking on my emotional body. You get what I'm saying? Like, the somatic part of it all. I haven't been moving my body. Like, don't get me wrong, I go to the gym for a good week and then I stop going. Like, it hasn't been a consistent thing. And I'll go because I want physical results, not because I need to really move my body, not because I'm doing it for like somatic reasons. And today I just cried and cried and cried. And as you hear, it's raining now. I always feel like the weather aligns with my emotions, and when I'm releasing something. Literally right after I got out the bath, it started raining too. Then it stopped, and then it started again when I literally went outside and sat on my porch and started crying. Came back and it started raining again. But, and that for me is a sign of release. But I say all this to say that, find balance. Allow your mind, spirit, and body, heart, wherever that falls, to be connected. To be so locked in that when it's time to make decisions, they negotiate with each other. You need to find ways to be able to respect every part of yourself, because a lot of us, and me and my friend was having a conversation about this a while ago, because she was in this Zoom class with this guru lady, and they were talking about how a lot of people live in their mental world. We're always thinking about what other people think about us, what we gonna eat for dinner, what we gonna do this, what we gonna do that, and we go here before we check in with our bodies and say, what do we need internally? A lot of the times we're allowing our mind to take the wheel when it's a union, it's a collective. It's not what do you call it? A dictatorship. One should not be dictating the whole operation. When operations exist, there needs to be a team. So your mind should not be taken over. Your heart should not be taken over. Your spirit should not be taken over, because we don't only live, in each of these places. They're all here for a reason, and they're all interconnected. They need to commune with each other. And that's something that I'm really realizing more and more, that I need to, a lot of times get out of my head and get into my body, and still listen to my mind, and allow it to have an opinion or have it say so, but it should not be the power of authority. This is about your mind, body, and soul having a relationship. And I feel like it's also what I'm getting right now is like siblings. Like, as you are the parent of your mind, body, and soul, you need to raise them to love each other and to get along. You know what I mean? If you raising siblings to hate on each other, you telling your mind, fuck your heart, you telling your spirit, fuck your mind. You if you're saying all these things or feeling all these things or thinking all these things, then that's going to be the result. Your mind is going to I'm spitting and stuff. I'm so sorry, y'all. Your mind is consistently going to try to overpower your spirit. Your spirit is consistently going to try to overpower your mind. Your heart is going to, every time something passes behind me, I keep thinking, who the fuck is that walking? Because I'm at work and I'm about to go inside. So, but, and that was another decision I had to come to. I was in the bed releasing, crying and whatnot. I'm like, I really don't want to go to work. I already did like 20 extra hours this week, overtime. Like, I really don't want to go to work, but I did that overtime so I can get more money, not so I can get the same amount. So I'm like going back and forth. My mind, my body is going back and forth like, oh, do you want to go to work? No, I want to lay in bed. You know what I mean? And a decision I came to a decision that I'm going to go to work. I'm going to get my money. But when I get here, I'm going to chill. I'm not going to give as much energy as I normally give. I'm going to reserve my energy because I am in a place of release. And I think that was the best decision I could have made, because on the way here, all the good songs came on the radio, so I felt good. And I'm about to go inside, and I'm not giving my all. I'm so sorry. I came here, I showed up. It's raining like shit too. So yeah, but and that was an example of me allowing my heart, mind, and soul to commune to make a decision. And sometimes as you're starting out, it's going to take longer. Like they're going to take longer to commune. It's going to be the Democrats and the Republicans and this and that and this house and that house. I'm not good with fucking the government shit. I'm so sorry. Maybe I should educate myself. I don't want to sound ignorant, but all these different houses and stuff, they have to come together to make decisions. And if everybody is against each other or, wanting different things, then how can we ever come to a conclusion? How can we ever come to an end result? You have to be on the same page. You have to allow your mind, body, and soul to know what is your end goal. You know what I mean? And you just have to use them in different ways. You have to know them. You have to know how your mind works. You have to know how your body works. You don't have to know how your soul works. And I know it's a lot, because on top of all that, then you got to go do this shadow work. You got to do this. And you got to do that. And you got to do this. And it just be like, girl, I'm about to just go to bed, But it's all for a higher purpose. And yeah, that's pretty much. I'm sorry if I was yelling to y'all. When I get passionate about things, I start yelling. But yeah, that's what has transpired. I was just releasing and grieving so many things. That's one thing my friend told me. She reads human design charts, and she was like, one of my superpowers is the fact that emotions are supposed to just flow through me easily. And I haven't used that power, because a lot of times I hold on to things, or I cover it up with eating or other things, dating and stuff like that. But I was just realizing, like, oh wow, I had certain emotions that I was holding on to in my body. Like, your mind is mental. You know what I mean? Like, just because your mind say, oh, I didn't feel no type of way about this, or da-da-da, your body felt it. When you braced in a situation, or you shrugged your shoulders in a situation, your body felt all that. So a lot of times you're going to need that somatic release. Like, you can't listen. That's like going to a dentist for a paternal issue. You get what I'm saying? Like, a dentist can't talk to you about pregnancy. I mean, they can, but they're not going to be able to have the same information to give you about pregnancy. And a doctor that deals with pregnancy, or a doula or whatever, can't tell you or give you the same amount of information about dentistry. That's not how that works. So if you go into your mind for emotions, that's not how that's not really going to work out. That's what I'm saying. You have to know what each thing bodily, body part is used for, and use it for that. And I think a lot of times we misuse our mind, our body, and our soul. We get the shit mixed up. And that's why they need to all have a relationship. That's all I'm gonna say for now. It's time for me to go into work. I'm 9 minutes late. So I hope y'all enjoyed this message. Hope you resonated with it. If you didn't, doesn't really matter because it was for me anyways. I love y'all.